Hey there, boys and girls. It's been a little bit since I made a video. Sorry for the delay, just having other things to do. So, there's plan B 2.0, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a stalker inside the old 63. That way we can make it to bugjam. This is just a stock 1600 dual port. It's going to have a stock carburetor on it. It will have a header with a hideout muffler because that's what I have. The engine tins are over at my brother's house. He's going to paint those again for me because my last motor is single port and the fan shroud is getting all yucky looking from being driven. So he's painting those for me, which is awesome. And we're going to put that together in the bug. That way the bug can make it to bugjam. Got to lower the front end down, clean some things up too while I'm at it, but get this thing back on the road because it's starting to become an object in the garage instead of a car. On the old buggy, it's kind of just catching stuff, unfortunately, right now. Really don't want to put too much time into this when I have to fix the bug. So the old dune buggy is kind of just hanging out. I did do one little thing to it. Ben got me a steering U-joint set up from a Super Beetle that he was parting out. So you can see that right there. As these aftermarket U-joints that are for these shafts are $50 a pop, and that was free, of course, but the replacement ones are only like $30, and you get the two U-joints on it. So it cost me almost $100 to put aftermarket U-joints in here. I have a solid rod that is the same size as the shaft on that and slides in here amazingly. So I'll slide a piece in, weld it in there, cut it off, slide it in there, have some sticking out. But I have to get the back seat dealt with first before I can make all this work. What I did do in the meantime, though, is what I know I can do is I made this little bracket here to hold this support bearing. That way the from the steering box to the first part of the U-joint will be secure and hold the weight, and then when I get the steering column forward or back enough, when I get the seat up there, I can start working on that part. But first what I got to do is get the seatbelt mounts mounted for the rear seat, and I need to run another tube parallel to the main rails because it has one in the center right there, and then they have the main frame rails on the side, and I don't want to mount seat belts for the center on the center there because then you'd have basically all three people mounted to that center bar. I want to spread the weight out a little bit if there was ever some sort of incident. So I have to cut and weld a bar there and one about there and put them underneath there for the seat, and then I can put the tabs on, and then I can move the seat back to the front so I can mount the steering column how close or far away it is going to be from the driver. So once I do that, then I'll get some shaft collars to slide over the shaft and lock that down. I could just put like a bead of weld on it, but I kind of want to make it where I can adjust it if I ever had to, and plus it won't look so tacky. And then I can put my steering U-joints in here, so that will get the steering settled from being steering column down to the steering box. The reason I didn't go with a rack and pinion is a couple of things. First off, I'd had to buy the U-joints. Second thing is I'd had to buy the rack. I'd had to weld a bracket on here, so there would be the rack, the bracket, the U-joints, and then most of the tie rods for the racks are made for a 6-inch wider beam. This is standard width. So the tie rods would be custom width, and those tie rods are usually made for international ends or Heims. So then I'd have to buy, spend quite a bit more money, is where this is just going to be all Volkswagen. Volkswagen rod ends, Volkswagen, well, the tie rods, I'm going to buy some aluminum ones, but, I could use a Volkswagen tie rod even. And this is all replaceable and cheap. The main thing to me is being able to get it. So if I ever did have a problem, this is all Volkswagen. This should be somewhat easy to get. You should be able to go to an auto parts store and at least get a tie rod. If I had the rack, I'd be, out of luck because there's just nobody around here that has that stuff. So anyways, that was one reason, plus the price. Even though the rack's only $150 now from China, by the time you add all this stuff into it, you're looking at like a $300 or $400 setup, and it's just easier and cheaper to do, a regular Volkswagen steering setup. So, that's about it for here. Like I say, I want to get the bug done, and then we'll work on the buggy again. So that's my plans for now. I did get the automatic. I put it underneath the car. I'm probably going to go through it because the shifter just seems weird. I don't know if it's stuck, but it has a lot of slop in it. Plus, it doesn't have hydraulic pressure to it, so who knows? It may just be stuck. But I'm going to use that to mount everything up, put the cage back where it should be, put a dummy block in there on that transmission, lift the whole transmission up, and see what I have to cut off on the frame horns to mount that in the back. And I'm probably going to mount it just a little bit lower than it would be stock, and the reason being is to get my CV angles less. This car has the torsion housing, which has a brace that goes underneath it and is kind of like a triangle shaped, and that is kind of like a buffer for it, so I can drop it down just a little bit if I have to, I believe, and not be in like super risk of damaging anything. But that's for a much later project. First things first, get the bug back together. So anyways, boys and girls, that's a small update of what's going on here. Hopefully you all been doing good. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Seen that some of the other guys that usually make videos really haven't been making videos lately. John's working on the bug, on the Baja. He should, hopefully, have the Baja update video by this weekend, I think. I think he should have a good update on that. So, John, get out there and make a video, please. And then, haven't heard from Old Speed SI in a while. Like to hear from you, man. See what you're doing. I know you've been doing a lot of different stuff for work and all that, but see that paint job. Make sure it's coming back good. I know you're a little down with it, but you know what? You're doing it yourself, and that's pretty awesome. And I want to see what the progress is, because doing a paint job is a whole nother world. People think it's easy. It is not. It is labor intensive, and it is time consuming. You have to be very patient, and most people are not patient enough to do that type of work. So give you a big thumbs up, man. Awesome job for even attempting it, because most people won't even attempt it. So hopefully you got it painted again. I'd love to see what it looks like and see if you changed your color or if you went to a clear or what you did there. I want to see what you did. So anyways, guys, and hopefully VW Darren, haven't heard from you in a while, man. Just give us a little video, make sure you're okay. I know things get busy and all that and stuff like that, but it'd be nice to hear from you again and see what you're up to. I know you're doing a lot of work around the house there and dealing with the house stuff, so I'd like to see some videos from you again. That'd be awesome. You always give me inspiration to do something, and that's why I started the whole channel, actually. So anyways, don't forget to get out there and work on your cars, boys and girls. Please like and subscribe, and some of those other guys, go tell them how much you like their videos. Go watch them and give them a like and a subscribe. So I'll see you guys later.